What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we are going to take a look at Spider-Man No Way Home black and gold suit. And if you are interested, you can order this at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. Packaging looks great, stayed in line with the No Way Home line here. But it's, the background is a bit this is the first one out of their releases, and this is the most inconsistent one probably in the Hot Toys history. The most non-screen accurate figure that you'll ever receive in your life. But with that being said, it's a part of No Way Home. I never thought I was gonna buy this. Wasn't a fan of how screen inaccurate it is, but I found a good deal, so jumped on it. Like a very good deal. You see here, there's the Spider-Man here, and this one came out before the film was out, so maybe that's why. Maybe they received the prototype and they're just like, you know what, let's make it. And to be fair, it's not just Hot Toys who did the exact same model. Like the other figures like the Bandai and Tamashii Nations and all that stuff, they all look the same. They don't have the wires, they don't have the cell phone in the chest. So maybe that was the prototype that Marvel gave them, and they ran with it, and then last minute they kind of changed it. So, but regardless, let's unbox this thing, and it looks pretty solid. Not screen accurate, but solid. Looks as just a standalone suit. If I didn't see the movie, I'll be like, man, this is a cool looking Spider-Man suit. Obviously, you want your figures to be screen accurate, but the accessories, you can see what I'm taking out here is the same accessory that basically you'll find in a Spider-Man, but it does have some newer features like those gold lasso tools, this gauntlet that I forgot that what do you call that thing? That is what Doctor Strange gave him, and then you can see this kind of like gold pieces. Honestly, those are the only different pieces from a regular Spider-Man suit. Of course, you're missing the cell phone and all that stuff, the regular ones that you normally receive. You do have a Tom Holland head sculpt for the 75th time that you would receive it. And then the figure itself, the stand is the normal hexagonal stand here. You can find this pretty cheap nowadays, honestly, it's probably like consistently 25% off. Consistently. The accessories, as you can tell earlier, you got fisted hands, you got the web slinging hands, you got this, wall crawling hands. I do like the patterns that is included here. Kind of like tech-wise, and it's very prominent. The black on gold just really stands out. It is a nice combination. You can see on the palm here, he does have that symbol. I don't know what that's for. But yeah, the kind of like the circuitry aspect of the suit in gold over black just really stands out. This is a nice metallic gold that again stands out with the black. You put it around his forearm, and it looks really cool. So this is what he used. Like the Doctor Strange basically gave it to him to lasso those, to web those guys so they can be put in the dungeon. And then after that, you get, the normal Spider-Man things in here, which is, we've seen this a gazillion times. This web that you attach at the end of the web. So he looks like he's webbing someone. I guess those are the attacking webs. They're kind of like, balled up at the end. And then you got the web slinging one here, which he does have a web slinging hand that he can hold this. The same one for this, I guess when he's trying to lasso someone. And then this is the new one, the gold web, so to speak. And then you attach those two discs, reminiscent of Doctor Strange here. But they look pretty cool, honestly. So what happens is you put in the gold disc and they kind of peg in those stoppers at the end, and then you do have, it's so tiny you can't see it, it has like an L-shape adapter to kind of just hold into the gauntlet itself, so the disc just fell off. And now you got the usual eyes that you get from these Spider-Mans, the wide opened eye, the kind of like small eyes here, and then you got a separate mask so he can hold it. Because he did remove his mask when he was making that phone call to MJ. And this is nice fabric material here compared to the actual mask, which is sculpted. Very nice. And then you got this head sculpt that doesn't have a neck nor an adapter, so it looks like he's wearing a turtleneck. But head sculpt looks pretty good, same as always as what we've seen before. And now you get this nice base with some tech pattern Spider-Man suit, and you can see some reflective foil over it, black and gold suit printed. Marvel Studios No Way Home. So this would go well with your other No Way Home figures. Now the tailoring for this, the fabric that they used are just the normal ones, which is stretchy materials, but it does have these printing of gold patterns and, you know, like, I guess rubber blacks that kind of stands out into the pattern here. And then you get some gold lines that are really prominent, and they're made out of rubber, so you got to be careful while playing around with them or posing him as well for a long period of time. For short, it doesn't really matter, but I am liking this, you know, like circuit board pattern all over his suit. The one thing missing is all the wires that is attached to him. Now I can imagine that would be extremely difficult to capture by Hot Toys, but I have no doubt they could capture it. They went with this, I don't think by choice. I think this is what was presented to them at the time, and then they rolled with it. Is it, obviously it's not screen accurate, so you know, we'll take that out of the equation. With that being said, it's not, because it's not how it's supposed to look in the movie. This should be heavily discounted, which is at 25% consistently. I don't know if you can say that's fair enough. Maybe not, because this is still a quality figure. This is still a great looking suit. The head sculpt is still phenomenal. Everything else looks good, but it is not screen accurate. This is more like one of those concept arts now, you know, so to speak. And those things, you know, do sell out. I'm not saying this should sell out, because this is supposed to be a a movie accurate representation, but it's not. Let's go into the head sculpt here. There's texture in this mask, and this mask is not the same fabric as they used throughout the suit. As a matter of fact, this is sculpted. I like that blue kind of stripes, because it does stand out from all the, you know, the black paint scheme here. The gold and black just really stands out, and it just really blends well for me. I don't know about you guys, but it does give me that nice vibe. Again, there's like little dot patterns here that I extremely like. There's some camo thing going on in his inside of the black mask, which I really love. Now you could match the lines if you really want to. You know, you could. Down the line, the best option here is on kind of like the lower neck area, and then make it one piece. So you could replace kind of like Green Goblin. So you have that, so it would line up perfectly every single time, in my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong here, but yeah, this is the default eyes, and you got kind of like the squinting eyes here. There's two squinting eyes, as a matter of fact. This is the other squinting eyes. There's almost no difference, in my opinion. And then you got the like a wide open shocked eyes that he does have. This is different than what normally comes with it. And then you got the blackout eyes. This is not the kill zone eyes, because that's red. But yeah, those are the different eyes. And then as far as head sculpt, we've seen this before. The only difference that I can tell between this and the integrated suit is the texture. It feels like the integrated suit has more texture to it. But overall, the sculpt is pretty much the same. It has this little shine on it, which I'm not a big fan of. But this has been, you know, released over a year now, And Hot Toys has gone more into a more realistic approach now. No more cutting corners. Where they still cut corners, but if this was made today, I'm pretty sure that the suit would be accurate, and you would see some of his neck, because right now he's wearing a turtleneck, which is not accurate. So they would, like the new Spider-Man, I think the red and blue suit, the one that he wore towards the end of the movie, does have rolling eyeball system, and not only that, the neck is exposed. So we see the evolution here, and that's not too far off. That's probably going to be released sometime next year. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no rolling eyeball within this one as of yet. Now let's take a look at the articulation here. His neck moves up, moves down. You see the chest plate here. This is magnetic, so you can put it on and put it off. The shoulders do go up high here, and this is ratcheted as well. Every time I do this articulation, the sound doesn't get captured, but yeah, just be careful whenever if you want to pose him like this, you could just be mindful that there's some rubber elements here, like those gold lines, that might deteriorate over time. You see that the suit itself won't, but the rubber printing might. Also, when you kick up the legs, bend the knees in here, he is pretty flexible, so you could do a lot of poses for him. You can also put there's some toe articulation there. There's a lot of movements that you could, obviously this is still not just an action figure that you could kick up and all that stuff. There's still gonna be bunching on the legs, on his pants and whatnot, but for the most part, I am pretty happy. I'm pretty happy for the most part now for Spider-Man's how they articulate, and this is no exception. All right, so let's do some poses with this guy right here. This is him unmasked and just shooting off that, trying to capture Electro. This is the scene. He only wore this suit for a brief period of time. I think he only caught Sandman and Electro with this one. Well, that's not a bad deal, I suppose. Yeah. So yeah, he went to this. He mostly wore this at night. When he went to this kind of jungle, so to speak. Here you go, in the power plant. And like I said, he is pretty poseable. I'm not a big fan of that waist clamp. I know we have to do this because it's Spider-Man. He needs to be flying. But I'm going to say it again. They need to include one of those crotch grabbers as well, because you leave that waist clamp there for a long period of time. Yes, the fabric might not tear, but the design next to it, it would stick, for a long period of time. You leave it there on those clamps. So now you're damaging the suit. And this is him with Electro in the back. I'm kind of replicated that scene where he just, lift up his gauntlet and it started lighting up, and he tried to web Electro from that scene. Pretty cool. Like I said, I love that I love this suit. It should be more of a homemade, like raggedy type of suit, but that is, you can see the disc, just sticking up to his chest as well. And there you go, guys. This is the Spider-Man. Final thoughts on this one. Black and gold suit. Nice suit overall. The design, I like it. I like the concept behind it. Not screen accurate, and I understand the reservation, because I did have a lot of reservation for this up until the last minute. I'm hesitant to pull the trigger. I was like, this is gonna be a waste of money, and it might still end up being one, because after a while, after the initial high wears off, you'll be like, man, why is this here? And I felt the same way even up to now with the Night Monkey suit. But that one does come with something that is pretty special, which is the diorama base of Molten Man. So right now I do have Molten Man, I'm going to have Sandman, and I have Lizard on those diorama base. So that's one thing that I'm keeping from keeping me from selling him, is that base. It doesn't have it here. So the only salvation here is the gold items. I don't know how special this would be for you or how much you love No Way Home. So it's hard to recommend this figure. But with that being said, if you can get it for a good price, and I'm talking about like 175, maybe 150, maybe consider it. Consider it at that point, because still pretty solid suit. And if you want to pose him around and break him, you know, not too bad. But thank you for watching. Love to hear your thoughts on this one. Subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Like this video. It really helps out the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.